It feels sometimes like we're all just caught up, in this crazy world. Things move so fast, and it's easy to get swept up in all the negativity and the division.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. It can make you wonder, if like doing something kind for someone even matters. Like if
Yeah.
it can really make any sort of difference.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, does one little act of kindness really matter when the world's facing such big, huge
Right,
problems?
right. But then again, when you really think about it, kindness has this like incredible power
Yeah.
to impact people in ways you wouldn't expect. It really does,
Yeah.
both personally and like in our communities.
I totally agree. It's something we've been thinking about a lot lately. The whole idea of kindness, big and small, and the potential it has to make things better.
There's actually a verse in the Bible that really speaks to this. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32, it says, "Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you."
And that's what we want to dig into today. How that idea of kindness, that principle, plays out in real life in our everyday experiences.
Absolutely, because it's not just about being polite. It's about something much, much deeper. It's a reflection of like a higher standard.
So let's start with the basics. The power of kindness, even in its smallest form. Like a simple act of kindness can brighten someone's day, maybe even change their whole outlook.
Right? It sounds so simple.
But it's true, we've all experienced it. Think about a time when someone unexpectedly did something kind for you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It really can be those small gestures that like cut through the noise and really
Yeah.
stick with us.
Exactly. Like, think about it. A stranger smiling at you, someone giving you a word of encouragement when you're feeling down, someone holding the door open when you're in a rush.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that? Those little acts can actually trigger a whole bunch of positive emotions.
Right.
Like they create feelings of connection and belonging, which are super important for our well-being.
It's like those little acts of kindness chip away at the walls we put up.
Oh,
The
how?
barriers we build between each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives us a little bit of hope, especially when things feel tough.
It is a choice, though, isn't it? To be kind. It's a conscious decision to see another person, recognize their worth, and offer them something good instead of judging them.
Oh, definitely. And, if you go back to that verse from Ephesians, that idea of being kind and compassionate, well, it's all about recognizing that we're all connected.
Mhm.
We all share the same human experience.
It's like we're reflecting back to others the kind of grace and understanding that we would want for ourselves, right?
Hmm.
And sometimes it's hardest to be kind when someone's actions don't seem to deserve it. But those are often the times when it matters most. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right. And what's really amazing to me is how those intentional acts of kindness become like
Oh,
a
yeah.
language of care. It goes beyond just words. It's showing someone that you care without even having to say anything.
And when we talk about needing kindness, we can't forget about those times of crisis, when the world seems to be falling apart. It's in those moments that kindness becomes even more vital.
Absolutely. Like, remember the floods in the Midwest last spring?
I do. That was devastating.
It was. And it really reminded us how vulnerable we all are.
Yeah.
But it also showed the incredible compassion that people have, how we can come together in times of need.
Absolutely. Like, people were opening up their homes to strangers who had lost everything.
Right. People they might have only waved hello to before we're suddenly offering them food, shelter, a place to stay.
Yeah, and there are tons of volunteers helping people salvage whatever they could from their homes.
And, just as importantly, they were offering emotional support,
For sure.
just being there for people who are going through this terrible traumatic experience.
And we can't forget the role that churches played.
They were incredible.
They became centers for people to find shelter, get supplies, and receive comfort and support.
Yeah, they were hubs of hope in the middle of all that chaos and despair.
What struck me most was how, in the face of such hardship, you saw this outpouring of love and compassion.
Yeah. It's like the human spirit shines brightest when things are at their darkest.
It shows that kindness isn't just some abstract idea, it's a core part of who we are, how we respond to each other, especially when things are tough.
I think that's so true. And it's not just in those huge disasters where kindness makes a difference. It can be much smaller everyday things too.
Oh, absolutely. Like, remember that hashtag Kindness Matters campaign from last year?
Yeah, that was so cool. It really seemed to tap into this global desire for like good news and human connection.
Totally. It showed how when people share their stories of kindness, it inspires others to do the same. It creates this amazing ripple effect.
It's true. And one story that really stood out to me was from Japan. These students decided to throw a surprise birthday party for their elderly neighbor.
Oh, I remember that. They knew he was often lonely.
Yeah. And they just wanted to do something nice for him. They baked him a cake, sang happy birthday, just simple things.
It was such a small gesture, but it meant so much to him.
And what's really wild is that this little act of kindness in a small neighborhood in Japan went viral. People all over the world heard about it.
Yeah, it spread through that hashtag kindness matters hashtag, and it touched so many people.
And it inspired people to do similar things in their own communities.
Exactly. It showed how contagious kindness can be.
Totally. And you know what else happened? It wasn't just the students who reached out to their neighbor after that.
No.
Other people in the neighborhood started checking in on him too, offering help, even forming friendships. It was amazing.
It really brought the community together.
It did. And it all started with that one small act of kindness. It's like it revitalized the whole neighborhood.
And it shows how kindness can create these unexpected ripples of positive change. And, speaking of making a difference, there was that amazing story of the woman in South Africa who started a mobile clothing and hygiene unit for people experiencing homelessness.
Yeah, that was a powerful one. She saw a need and took action.
She literally turned a truck into a place where people could take showers, wash their clothes, and get clean clothes.
Things that a lot of us take for granted.
Exactly. But for someone living on the streets, those things can make a huge difference in their dignity and self-respect.
And it all came from this place of deep compassion. She just wanted to help. And then, with donations and volunteers, this amazing initiative was born.
I read that she was inspired by a conversation she had with someone experiencing homelessness. She just wanted to make sure that person felt seen and valued. And from that, this incredible project grew.
It's amazing, isn't it, how one person's desire to make a difference can have such a profound impact.
It is. And I think all these stories, the floods, the hashtag Kindness Matters campaign, the mobile hygiene unit, they all show us how unifying kindness is.
Yes, it cuts across all those boundaries we create.
Race, age, political beliefs, religion, none of it matters when it comes to kindness.
Exactly. We're all just human beings trying to make our way in the world.
And kindness is a reminder of that shared humanity.
It's a way of expressing love without expecting anything in return.
It's both something that comes naturally to us and a tool for creating positive change.
So, we started by asking if one act of kindness really matters.
Right.
And I think these stories have given us a pretty clear answer. Kindness, even in its smallest form, is incredibly powerful.
It's a force for good in the world.
Every act of kindness we choose to make, no matter how small, contributes to something much bigger than ourselves.
It's a ripple that spreads outward, touching lives in ways we may never fully know.
And it's a reminder that no act of kindness is ever wasted.
So, as we finish up today, I want to leave you with this thought. As you go about your day, think about the people you'll encounter.
Yeah.
What small act of kindness could you offer them?
It doesn't have to be anything big.
Just a simple gesture of compassion or understanding? Because you never know the impact it might have.
It's true.
Maybe that small act of kindness will be the spark that brightens someone's day or even changes their life.
You have the power to make a difference. We all do.
And it starts with kindness.